Okay, we're live. With any luck, we're live. So, hello everybody. This is Colson-Eyre, and today is May the 11th, 2020, and this is our annual. This is our weekly Cheetah Nation family meeting and friends night. And so, we're going to do our unit meeting after the training tonight. So, if you're in the Cheetah Nation area, any of our consultants or directors or adoptees, stay on for a little recognition, a little fun, and something we're going to do after the training tonight. But I'm super excited to introduce y'all to my girlfriend here. And so let me get it over here so I can make sure we're streaming. Okay, good. So we're streaming to my group page, Michele. So let me tell you about Michele. First of all, let me just say I met Michele. This is one of the many perks of being on the Top Director trips is that you get to meet the most incredible women. I mean, like top caliber. Jana and I were talking today, just top caliber, godly women, leaders in our company that just think on a higher level. And it's just so refreshing to be around them. And so Michele and I have known each other for a little while. I was looking for some pictures, Michele, and it might have been Rome. London, that we really met each other.
It was.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. And there was the thing called the London Eye, and it's like this huge, I don't even know what you want to call it. It almost looks like a massive giant Ferris wheel, and then you like 20 or 30 people can go in this one big thing, and it just goes all the way around. And so we were on there together, and I had a picture of she and I in front of one of the castles in London, and I had on this shirt that said, "I eat glitter for breakfast," and Michele looked really cute. And the reason is because my luggage didn't come in for 4 days. And then when it did come, only my pajamas came. And so luckily I flew in black leggings. So guess what? I wore black leggings 4 days in a row. And I just found pajama shirts that I could, and one of them said, "I eat glitter for breakfast." And so that's what I wore. So anyway, they look so, and you know how like when you go on these,
look cute.
You can't imagine how we pack for it. Like we want everything to be perfect. And I thought, well, there you go. So anyway, we've had the best time getting to know each other. And right now, currently, she is one of my prayer sisters, which means that every Monday we get together with 4 other Mary Kay directors, and we pray for each other. We pray for y'all. We pray for our company, and we have a little devotion. And so Michele is just, and her husband Ken, they're just near and dear to my heart. And so let me read you a little bit about her fabulous self from her Mary Kay business, okay? She accepted the Mary Kay opportunity September 1996. She debuted as a sales director in 1998. She's earned 13 Mary Kay cars, 10 of them being pink Cadillacs. Her highest honor was being nominated for Miss Go Give in October of 2006. She's been recognized in the court of sales 18 times. That means 18 years, she sold over $40,000. She 2 times in the court of sharing. That's when you sign up personally, at least 24 qualified team members receiving the Diamond Bumblebee pin. She has had 8 company gold medals. A gold medal, and I'm just saying this for some of you that are new, the gold medal is when you get 5 new team members in 1 calendar month. So she's gotten 8 different times she's gotten that. 96 quarters of star consultant, 16 times double court achiever, 1 time triple court star achiever, 3 times she's been from the Kathy Halou National Area originally, and 3 different times she was the #1 unit in the Kathy Halou National Area. 6 times she was #1 in the Heather Carlson National Area. She has won 10 diamond rings, 1 diamond bracelet and necklace totaling over 45 carats of diamonds. Ka-ching. She's made 9 appearances in the Circle of Achievement, 10 appearances in the Circle of Excellence, which is $650,000 or higher, with her highest year over $750,000 in unit retail production. Michele and her husband Ken have traveled on 10 top director trips, 2 times to Rome, Florence, Italy, Stockholm, Sweden, 2 times to Maui, Monaco, French Riviera, London, Paris, Argentina, Alaskan cruise, and Oahu, Hawaii. It's no big deal, right? Just go to about 10 countries. It don't matter. Her highest check in 1 month has been over $20,000 in 1 month. In 1 month. Some people that you know it takes them 6 months to make $20,000. And there's some people who don't even make it in 6 months, right? And so that is some big real money. She's married to Ken, and they have 5 children. And her daughter Justine is a Mary Kay sales director. And most recently on the Cheetah Nation page, Justine did this cutest little demonstration of the new spring products. And it was the first video I posted about the new spring products, just a little short, like a 2-3 minutes where she shows all the products. She is adorable. So she is a Mary Kay sales director, and they work side by side as a mother-daughter team. And so she is a woman of God. She is just, you know, when you have a lot of faith and you believe in God like she does, she's just an all-around amazing person. And she is from New York, upstate New York. And so, of course, they've been greatly affected by the COVID virus, and yet her team is still producing. And I can't wait for y'all to hear about what she's fixing to share tonight. So I'm going to let her talk about that. So, Michele, without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Michele Arms. Woo! Wait a minute. Hang on. Woo! All right, Michele.
Girl, back at you with all of those comments. As you guys know, she's pretty fabulous herself. Well, I thought I would just kind of open up and share with you a little bit about how I started my Mary Kay business, and then just roll into some training that I love talking about selling. I'm going to say not many people come from a sales background, maybe as a Mary Kay, consultant or director, but that was really my background. So I love selling, even though I never feel like I'm selling. The thing I love about my business more than anything is that I feel like I'm just sharing what I love, and really feel more like truly like a consultant, that we really don't have to push hard to sell our product. As you guys know, we have such a great product. It really does sell itself, but there is a lot of strategy around selling, which I want to share with you today. But actually, I started my business back in 96, something like that. Yeah. So 23 years ago. And my consultant at the time was a friend of mine. We were actually very acquaintance friends. And she actually asked me for 2 years to become a consultant. And for 2 years, I said no. And she never gave up. However, I never felt like she was high pressure at all. Every time she called me, she had a reason. And I would say, I'd be walking in the grocery store, and there she would be in the fruits and vegetables. And she would ask me to come and be, come to her success event. And I actually told her I would come. And for 2 years, I told her I would come, and then she would call and confirm every Sunday night, and I would make up a reason why I couldn't be there. So if you can only imagine 2 years of her asking me and me kind of, saying, oh, sure, I didn't want to say no. So I would tell her I would be there. Oh, yeah, that sounds great. And then she'd call me on Sunday night, and I'd make up a reason why I couldn't be there. And I will tell you the reason I actually went, the time that I did go, that I got inspired and then became a consultant. Honestly, if I did not go to that event, I would have not been here today, because she did all the right things. She came to my house. She did a facial with me. She tried to book me for a party. You're going to laugh at this one, but she came to my house, sold me back then, the classic miracle set, or not miracle set, before the miracle set, the classic line. And then she came back for a second appointment, and I returned the whole set. And she still pursued me after that. You can even believe that. But she actually got me to come to her success event because she asked me to be a face model. And I was somebody that loved color. So when she asked me to be a face model, I was like, really, I was like, wow, she wants me to be a face model. So I went to her success event. And that is really, truly where I caught the vision. So like I said, she worked very full circle. She came to my house. She did a facial. She asked me to have a party. She booked me for a second appointment. She booked me for an interview and shared the opportunity. And every single time I said no. And then, lo and behold, finally, and, sometimes I think it's just timing. When she caught me that last time, I honestly was kind of embarrassed because I had said no to her so many times, and I liked her. And so I finally went to that event. And I will tell you that the reason I became a consultant was because of what I saw in the room that day. And so I know we're kind of in this state right now where we may not be having events, but that won't be forever. And I will tell you that for me, going to an event and seeing more of what this business was all about and the things that I heard about our company is what made me pull the trigger and say, you know what, maybe this is something that I would do. And so what caught my attention was when her director talked about the Mary Kay Foundation. And the reason it caught my attention was because my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer that very month that I signed up as a consultant. So when I heard about the Mary Kay Foundation, it was like, bing, 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 it was like, oh, geez, that's really neat. I heard things about the golden rule that night and God, family, career. And I thought, well, heck, why not me? I'm not all cashed up. I could use a little extra money, but I will tell you, I signed for, and just thinking I would make an extra $100 a week. That's all I wanted. I wanted to bring more fun to my family. I wanted to be able to travel more. And I kind of joke about it, but it was true. I was not, I'm going to say that I was not a very good driver. And so I had very high car insurance because I drove pretty fast. And so getting speeding tickets and things like that, yeah, that was just kind of a typical thing for me. So my car insurance was always expensive. And I just thought if I could just win one of those Mary Kay career cars, that would be great because I wouldn't have to pay a big insurance bill anymore. So that's how I got started. And honestly, I just went out and held 2 parties a week. That really is, my success came from consistently holding 2 parties a week, every single week. And I'll tell you why, because for me to be able to get back then, this was before conference calls or anything else. We didn't even have internet back then. So the only way that I could be connected to my national, which was Kathy Halou, and I would follow her anywhere, was if I did 10 shows a week, 10 shows in a month and did 10 interviews. That was her promotion. And by doing that, that put me on a phone call with Kathy for 15 minutes. So that was my pure motivation, was I wanted to be in her space. I wanted to learn from the best. And, Mary Kay always said, pay any price to be in the company of extraordinary leaders. And Kathy was one of them. So that was really my success, was just consistently building a really great customer base and then servicing that customer base. And, I'm so glad I did, looking at where we are right now and knowing that, because of this whole, stay-at-home order, and we're still, I know some of you guys probably are opening back up, but we are not yet. We are still closed, and I have no idea how long that's going to last. Hopefully not for much longer. But I will tell you that being in that situation and having a customer base that you can go back to is, I'm so glad I built on a strong foundation because that's what Kathy always taught us was personal business. She was big on working your personal business, even as a top director. And so that was just kind of ingrained in me. I worked my personal business a lot and then figured out how to work everything else around that. But that was really, my priority was always my personal business. So because of that, I have a really, I'm going to say that's where all of my offspring directors came from. All but one came from women that I personally recruited. And then also, or they came from somebody that I personally recruited. And that's why, personal business is always should be at the top of our list. So that's how I got started. So what I want to share with you is a little bit on selling. And wouldn't it be great if you could take your selling up a notch? And because, if you think about it, we get paid for doing a lot of things as sales directors, but as consultants and sales directors, what's the highest percentage of what we get paid? It's 50%, right? And so selling the product can be a really great paycheck. And I love selling the product because every time I sell something, I don't know, it just makes me happy every time I sell something. And that's why I promote in my unit $100 days, because I love women to have daily wins, like something to stretch for every day. You know, it's a great day whenever you I don't care if it's a lipstick, if you sell something, you feel great about your business, right? So, so some of the reasons why, talking about some of the reasons why women's, like to shop. Okay. And it's not just because they love shoes and purses and sparkly things, although I'll take those too. But really, women are shopping. We are responsible, and we're the caregivers of a lot of people. If you think about it, your children, your husband, the elderly, your friends, your colleagues. Women shop for a lot of people, not just themselves. And we're always buying on the behalf of somebody else. Wouldn't you guys agree? Right? And so women are really the gateway to everything else. So if you're selling to women, it's like a multi market in one. If you're selling to a woman, because she's going to promote or be buying for a lot of different people in her life. And that's the first thing that, doesn't I know they make jokes. My husband makes jokes about this all the time. He'll say, where do you want to go? I'll say, where do you want to eat? And he'll be like, I don't know. What do you want to eat? And I go, well, I don't know. What do you want to eat? And he'll say, well, let's have steak. And then I'll go, no, I don't want to have steak. And he jokes about it all the time. It's like, no, I don't want that. And he's like, well, you just asked me what I wanted and I told you. And then, we're not going to have that anyway. We're going to have what you want. And it's so true. It's like, even if we say where we're going to eat, I'm the one that always decides where we're going to eat, not him. So women really have a lot of the influence as far as where money gets spent, right? And so every time you deliver great customer service to your customer, you are creating a multiplier effect on your business, because she represents a broad range of potential customers for you. So don't forget to address the invisible others in her life. And I'm going to give you just an example of this. I kind of got the courage to go meet my neighbor. She just moved in last spring. I met her briefly, but honestly, I forgot her name. And so I'm like, okay, so how can I, get back to remembering what her name? I mean, I knew I put her in my phone. I was searching through my phone. I couldn't find her number to save my life. So I just put together a bottle of wine, and I put together some samples, and I dropped them off at her door, and she happened to come out, and I said, oh, I'm just dropping you off a little, quarantine, goodie pack or something. And she said, oh, that's so nice. And, and then I said, and she goes, oh, I know you saw Mary Kay, and I've been meaning, she says, to come over and have you hook me up with some good products, because I haven't had some good products in a really long time. And I know this friend that sells Arbonne, but I really don't like their product, and I'd really like to try Mary Kay. And I said, well, I put you a bunch of samples in there, and I go, hey, you know what? I said, here's what I offer women. I just offer women an opportunity to have a break. And, if you would like to just like hang out in your bathroom, go hide out in your bathroom with me, and we could just kind of get to know each other and have a glass of wine, and I could show you how to use all your samples. And, we could just do like a fun little pampering and get to know each other. And she goes, oh my gosh, that sounds great. Could you do it tomorrow? And she was so like eager. And I said, yeah, you know what? Just do me a favor. Just friend me on Facebook. That's how I got her name. I'm like, friend me on Facebook. Find me on Facebook, and then, we'll connect from there. So that's how I got back to figuring out who she actually, what her name was. I was so embarrassed. But anyways, we booked an appointment, and I walked her through a facial, and afterwards, we wrote down a wish list of things that she wanted. And then she said to me, when you drop off my stuff, could you include some samples in there? Do you have men's samples? Because my husband, he loves product. He just does. He's one of these guys that loves product. So, if you could put me some men's samples in there. And then my daughter and my stepdaughter, they're like, 13 and 12. Do you have stuff for them? So she was already buying, right? Now she's talking about her husband, who else might be using product, her daughter. And then she said, oh, and do you sell gift cards? Because it's Mother's Day on Sunday, and I could use a gift card for my mom. I already got her another gift, but you know what? If you put some samples in there, my mother will buy stuff. And, now she's telling me about her mother. So that's what I mean about the multiplying effect. Don't forget about the invisible people in their life, like who else might be using their product, and who else might they be sharing their product with. So one of the things I learned a long time ago was to always ask somebody for 2 referrals. Okay. You don't have to ask them for a whole bunch of people, but everybody will give you 2 names, right? Like, who do you know that's overworked, underpampered, could use a little pampering break? Who do you think would enjoy doing what we just did together? Just asking somebody for 2 names. And if you ask somebody for 2 names, right? Like, who are your 2 besties? Who are your 2 favorite people? More than likely, they'll give you 2 names. It's the repeated asking that makes the biggest difference in the multiplying effect. So there are some strategies to selling. And so I want to share with you just 5 things about selling. And one of them is acquiring customers strategically. Okay. Number 2 would be optimizing the experience for the customer. Number 3 would be retaining that customer. Number 4 would be cultivating the relationship with the customer. And number 5 would be multiplying the repeat and referral business with that customer. See, and as Mary Kay, I know Mary Kay said this once, that it takes a whole lot less effort to retain a customer than to find a new customer. And I find that to be so true. Is, sometimes we're out acquiring new customers, looking to acquire new customers when we haven't really optimized what we have in our customer base right now. Because I'm sure any of you guys that are sales directors especially have probably a pretty substantial customer base already. And so remembering that opens up, when you optimize the experience for your customer, you're opening up that gateway of multiplication and retention of that customer. So one of the things, talking about some of the ways that I do that, optimizing the experience for the customer. I love to really bring a lot of value when I am working with somebody, especially one-on-one, adding a lot of value. And part of the way that I'll add value is, first of all, product knowledge. I really am somebody that believes that product knowledge is really powerful as far as why somebody would choose your product over somebody else's product. And I just want to give you an example of this. We started doing these virtual events, and I realized that I needed to type some of this stuff out because I was working with my daughter, and I do these events together. And so, she'll take a product and I'll take a product, and we'll kind of go back and forth. And she's somebody that just can wing it. I mean, that's kind of her thing. She just loves to just, fly by the seat of her pants, but I have to have like bullet points. I don't know about you, but I have to have like a system and know what I'm talking about. And so this was one of the things we talked about, just talking about like the gel mask. Okay. I know the company has the product sheets available, but I don't find that myself to be enough to really make me like drool over that product. Okay. So for instance, imagine if you said this about the gel mask. It's a multitasking genius that addresses tired, sluggish, stressed skin. Deeply hydrating, replenishing moisture on contact. It attracts and maintains moisture with a powerful humectant that acts like a sponge on your skin to maintain its vital moisture. Helps maintain balance or moisture levels, firms and calms skin, and strengthens the skin barrier function. Contains chestnut seed extract to help calm skin, and vitamin B3, one of the 2 principal forms of vitamins to fortify the skin's barrier. It's has powerful antioxidants, superpowers, fresh acai berries that neutralizes free radicals at the potency rate of more than 80 times that of green tea. Leave on for 20 minutes of bliss or overnight dreams. Okay, now does that not make you want to buy this product, right? like just by describing it with some of those words, just those buzzwords, it's like when we came out with 3D, I don't know about you guys, but when we came out with 3D, I felt like I had to learn, like I had the miracle set so down, with the day solution and the night solution, that I was kind of like, oh, I feel like a total fish out of water right now. Because I don't know how to talk about the 3D in a way that makes it sound, like I got to have it. Okay. I can't live another day without that product. So what I did was I just Googled some of the top ingredients. So I Googled, what does resveratrol do for your skin? What does vitamin B do for your skin? What does peptides do for your skin? And when you do that, oh my gosh, like if you took every one of your products and just Googled, what does this ingredient do for the skin? You would come up with all the buzzwords that you need in order to talk about that product. And that's what I found to be most helpful when I'm adding value to somebody, is really the product knowledge and being able to, it's like QVC. Right now we're doing a lot of QVC selling, but I actually studied the QVC people. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, if I got to do this and I can't put product on somebody, what do they do? What kind of experience do they provide that's different, that makes women call up or get online and order that product? And a lot of it is, if you study QVC and watch it, like I always say, one day I came home from an event and I was like depressed, and I just was sitting like kind of zoned out in front of QVC, just watching it. And as I'm watching it, I'm going, this woman's talking about this watch. Next thing you know, I'm buying the watch. I'm like, I don't even need the watch. Why am I buying this watch? Everything that she was saying about that watch, I'm like, I think I need that watch. I think I'm going to order that watch. And so it's the same thing when we're selling our products is, not only having a system of, having a format that you follow, but also how are you becoming a master at describing that product so that you create a value and also somebody going, I don't even have to try it and I already want it. Right? Okay. So optimizing the experience for the customer, that's part about optimizing the experience. The other reason why people shop, why do they shop at QVC versus on Amazon? Because QVC is like a community. Okay. Whereas Amazon, they can just go buy, they order. It's not really a community of people. But when you go to QVC, there's all this talk going back and forth and between the two people, and not only are they talking about ingredients and why the product works and why it's so awesome, but then there's this whole community of other people that are shopping, that are calling in and talking and giving testimonials. So there's a lot to be learned by that, especially as we're in this virtual world, and how we can present our product in a way that makes people want to buy it without even trying it. Okay. So the next is retaining the customer. I want to talk about that in a minute, because retaining your customer really has to do with your creating the next best step for that customer. In other words, it's never a one and done, I just sold her something and that was the end of it. It's always, how am I going to cultivate her with a second appointment, or what can I offer her next? And so, and Mary Kay so well taught us that, that there's always a next step. My goal, I remember learning this from Linda Tubin, saying that your goal should be to get every customer on 10 products. 10 products. What 10 products can you get her on? So if you've got her on a miracle set, you've got her on 5. What are 5 more things, right, that I can get her to fall in love with? And that's the value of the second appointment. Because, I always say women don't ever want to feel like they're sold, but women like to shop and they do want to buy, right? And so booking a second appointment with her, when you get a second appointment and you're in front of her a second time, the first time, if you're at a party, well, she bought maybe because she wanted some things, but she also bought because she's there to help her friend. She was invited to the party. But when she invites you to your house for a second appointment, right? Women don't invite salespeople into their homes. They invite people they like. And so that's actually the biggest compliment that somebody can give you when they invite you into their home, is the fact that they, I always tell my consultants, don't try and sell anything. Just sell people on liking you. If they like you, they will buy from you. It's like, why do you go back to your hairdresser repeatedly over and over again? You like her, right? Not only do you like what she does to your hair, but you probably like her. And really anybody that you do business with, really all starts there. Is if you like the person, you will buy from that person. And so retaining that customers has to do with a lot of different things. Number one, building that second appointment now gets you into her home, seeing what, her children, and doing all those little things that Mary Kay talked about. And you guys, I do that all on the profile card. I am a big advocate of the profile card, because I write down, I'm like old school like this. I write down names of their kids, what's going on in their life. As soon as I get in my car, I write down notes on the profile card, because I don't have that great of a memory. And I want to be able to say to somebody the next time I pick up the phone to call them, hey, the last time we talked, you mentioned such and such. Okay. Or how did your daughter adjust to college? Or how is she liking going to Geneseo? Or, I want to have some point of reference, because the more I can build a relationship with her, and, it goes right back to what Mary Kay said. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And it's all about building that rapport and, to be able to not only optimize that customer, but, to also, get her to, when you are asking about them, that's what creates that bond between you, and also creates her, wanting to do business with you because you care about her. Okay. So retaining the customer, not only is building the relationship, but what is the next best step? Okay. Is she going to be, am I going to get together with her and expand her on more product? By doing either a makeover or taking her from skincare to supplements, and then maybe supplements to color. Where am I taking her next? And that's why I love the profile card, because I am somebody that really firmly believes that this thing here, and I don't know if you could see it, you could see all my writing all over the place. I write down everything. So my first question when I have her fill out the profile card is, I go through a series of questions with her. And the first thing I ask her is, what does your current skincare routine look like? What are the products that you're using now? And I want like names. Like, I want to know if she's using L'Oreal. I want to know if she's using Estee Lauder. I want to know exactly what she's using. And so I write every single product that she uses skincare wise down. Okay. And I do that for a couple of reasons, because my strategy is, when I close her, I want to know what she's using now. I want to know why she likes that product. I want to know if she's mixing brands. Okay. And, is she doing I call it the summer line, some of this and some of that. Is she mixing brands? And also how she's using that product. Because one of the things that I find is, when women are mixing products, they're kind of being their own mixologist. They're putting together their own routine, which may not always be working for them for a couple of reasons. For instance, are they using something like vitamin? I'm going to give you just a small example. Is she using vitamin C with a retinol? Can't do that. They don't go together. It cancels it out. And not everybody knows that, but vitamin C is better used in the morning, not at night. It thrives during the daylight, not at night. Retinol should only be used at night. So I ask people a lot of questions about their routine, and then how they're using those products and why they're using that product. Like, what do you like about that product? Well, tell me why you purchased that product. So I'm getting to kind of get a feel for what is she doing with her routine. The next thing I'm doing is, I ask her the next question, which is, if I could improve your skin in any way, what would it be? Because that is her hot button. I want to know, like, what is the one thing that she wishes she could change about her skin. Okay. And I'm writing all of that down, okay, on her card. And so that is the first thing. Now, when I close her out at the end, my strategy, first of all, always using a closing sheet. That, you guys probably know that, but like, I don't go anywhere without the closing sheet. I make sure I have multiple copies, like in my date book, everywhere, just in case I forgot it. But are you using some form of a closing sheet? And personally, I've always been taught that your closing sheet should have 3 sets. because a confused mind cannot make a decision. But if you give a woman 3 suggestions, this set, or this set, she's going to probably go for the middle set, which is your miracle set. And that's what you want to sell her anyways, is skincare, right? And then I always go, after I get her order, that's when I focus on, I actually make a list of, okay, so tell me everything that if money were no object, tell me every single thing that you would want. And I actually go through her lookbook and I circle every product for her that we used that day, so that she goes home with the lookbook and it is circled with items, everything. What if I did color on her, I will put X's next to all the colors that I used on her. I will circle every product, because what I find is they forget. They may, women will buy, they may have a dollar amount in their mind today. Like, I can spend $100 today, but when you see her the next time, right? Not only do I write down every product that I used on her, but also she this book to her is her shopping guide. And so next week she may get paid again and have another $50 that she wants to spend with me. And now she can go through the book and pick out and know exactly what we used and what she loved. Okay. So, wish list. I always get a wish list. If money were no object, what were the things that we used today? And I circle them all in her book. And then as she tells me what she loved, I write them on the back of the profile card. And then I simply ask her, which of the sets did you want to start with today? Which one of the 3 sets? And then I ask her the basic things, how are you doing on your mascara? So, thinking of the things that are in the grocery store that are on, now they have them. I always call it a temptation aisle. Like, if you go to Marshall's, they have, you walk through the tunnel of the temptation aisle of all the things you just might throw in your cart, right? And it's that way in almost every store now. But, I always think of the basic things. What are the things that women need? Because so many times what I found, especially when I was a new consultant, is I was so excited about getting her order when she told me what she wanted that I never asked her if she wanted anything else. And so then she would get, when I followed up with her by doing the 2 + 2 + 2, 2-day follow-up, 2-month follow-up, right? 2 days, 2 months, or 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months, what I found is I had missed things because I didn't ask her, how are you doing on mascara? Or, how did you like the satin lips? And I didn't just randomly ask her those questions. I asked her those questions based on what she circled on her profile card. So if she circled on her profile based on any of the things that she circled, as we know, and you don't have to probably think about this anymore, but that everything is recommended that she circled. So I would look at that and say, oh, okay, so she's got dry lips, right? So I would say, I see that you mentioned that you had dry lips, that, we tried dry lips today or satin lips today. Did you want, is that something you'd want to add to your wish list or something you'd want to take home with you today? And just by asking those questions, I didn't leave room for things getting missed. Okay. Now, the key to that is I would ask the first question, how are you doing on mascara? She says, oh gosh, I'm so glad you said that, because yeah, you know what? I should get a new mascara. And then I'd say, okay, do you need anything for your lips? And she would say, no, I'm good. I'll stop there. Well, the minute she says I'm good, that's when you stop selling. But if she keeps going and she goes, oh yeah, add that on too, then I'll ask her about another product that's on her list. Well, how are you doing? Do you need concealer? Do you need eye makeup remover? The minute she says I'm good, that means she's done shopping. But up until then, so you're just suggesting things, like, don't you always wish that when you went, how many times do you go to the grocery store and then you get home and the one thing that you went to the grocery store for, you came home without? If somebody just said to you, did you make sure you got your milk? You'd be like, oh, thank God, you said that, because yeah, I need the milk. But so many times we don't ask, and because we don't ask, we leave money on the table. Okay. And also, getting the wish list is going to then direct you towards other opportunities for you to be able to sell to her husband, sell to her mom or anybody else that might be, because once again, it asks this, who might be buying who's your gift shopper is also on the profile card. And being able to utilize that portion and already have a wish list of things that that she wants. Okay. So with Mother's Day, some of my really great clients, that would, of course I was posting different things on social media for Mother's Day and just kind of reaching out to people saying, hey, I met with your mom last week and she's got some things on her wish list. Do you need a Mother's Day gift? Okay. That alone is what's going to generate all those other outside orders again from different people that are in her circle, her circle of influence. So, so the next thing I want to share with you is just creating some attraction around your product. Okay. And that can be done simply by posting. Now, I'm not really great at this. I will tell you, if you follow my daughter, she's like super great at this. But when we started with, the stay-at-home order, I was like, okay, I got to start getting better at this posting stuff. So I kept it simple. I just literally posted the lipstick that I was wearing, holding the lipstick and saying, love this new color. And I sold 8 of them. Like, okay, I just sold 8 lipsticks because I would literally have people place an order and go, oh, and that lipstick you were wearing that you posted this week, add that on. I was like, okay, I guess I better get with that social media program and start posting product that I'm using. And, even something as simple as, washing your brushes and showing how you're washing your brushes. You'll sell brush cleaners. Or the cleansing bar that, that we were showed how to, by Cindy Williams there, that showed us how to use the cleansing bar, and just doing a little video on that, positioning your product so that you are giving women an opportunity to see you because they want to see you. Okay. Not just, they like to see your little feeds and, so the other question I would have is, have you created a VIP customer page? And are you posting in your VIP customer page regularly? And that's something that, again, I had to really force myself to get a little more consistent with, and then add some specific value to your customer page. And so one of the things I tell my customers is, for instance, I don't know if you guys know this, but Lori Hogg is doing a special group now, where you pay $10 a month. And she's doing all these, nice videos and, some specific trainings, but she's also doing 4 times a year, a customer event, like a VIP customer event. Are any of you guys in that? Do you know? I don't know if you're muted out or not, but, she's doing this 4 times a year customer event. And one of them is this Thursday. Okay. And so, where we can invite our own customers, and she's going to be teaching a class on YouTube Live that your customers will have a specific link to if you subscribe to her service, which is $10 a month. It's $100 for the year. Now, if you guys have seen Lori Hogg, she's so passionate about our product. I mean, she sells me on the product over and over again, just by the way she uses it and talks about it. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm going to try it. I'm going to break that out of my own stock. So I know that for that $100 that I spent to join her program for 1 year, will pay me back tenfold, because I don't have to create the event. I can simply send my customer the link to watch Lori sell our product because she loves Mary Kay, and demonstrate our product. And more than likely, I'll have sales from that one event. Okay. And so, how I just positioned it to my customer was, I just simply said to them, hey, I'm in this training program with this, international makeup artist, and she's doing a special training class, and it's, glam on the go. And, is this something you might be, interested in? I'm only asking my VIP customers, people that are on my VIP page. If they, I can only have a certain amount of women that I can invite. And I thought of you. Would you like me to is that something you think you might be interested in? And it was like an immediate yes from so many women that I've reached out to. And these are women that are just usually, calling in for a reorder, whatever. I'm like, hey, you know what? I was just thinking about you. I've got this special thing on Thursday night. Would you be interested in joining me? And they're like, yeah, send me the link. And I'm like, okay, are you sure you're going to get on? Because, I can only have like 5 people and you're one of my VIP people. And so I'm positioning it as these are special perks that I give my VIP customers. My VIPs get special invitations to special things. My VIPs get to come to my open house early. My VIPs get special cute little bags that I buy for my open house for my VIP customers only. My VIPs get special birthday perks. So positioning that VIP page as something really special so that people want to be a part of it is something really, really important as far as building, not only great offering value to your customer, but also providing her with something different than what everybody else or all your other followers are getting. So the last thing I'm going to cover, I'm just watching my time here. The last thing I want to cover with you guys is just getting really good at closing the sale. And, and really good at creating a measure of trust with your customers and creating a level of, or a measure of trust. In other words, I call it like high trust selling, is when you develop that type of relationship where your customer trusts you and she values what you bring to her. And when I say value, what I bring to her is, I don't ever try and oversell somebody. I'm always looking at like, I'm going to find her need and fill it with my product, but I'm going to give her the best product knowledge that I can bring to her for her to make the decision about whether that product fits for her or not. And of course, I always make personal recommendations. I'll say to somebody, my personal recommendation for you would be this. So that, because again, I don't want to ever come across, and I don't believe I ever do, as a salesperson. I look at myself as, I'm a consultant. I know my product well. I've studied my product well. And I really believe that I know I have the best product. You all know we have the best product out there. And then also I use a lot of the product myself. So, so I can give my own personal testimony. So when women talk about, well, your skin is beautiful, it's like, yeah, because I kind of do a lot. I take really good care of my skin. I use really great products. I use professional grade spa-like products, Mary Kay, on my face and have for years. And so when they trust you and also just even asking for testimonials, a lot of times I'll ask my customer for a testimonial. I had one of my clients that, and I didn't know she did this, and I'll send it to Cleta and she'll forward it to you guys. But I had one of my clients that I put on repair. I put her on repair and I put her on the peel. And she took a picture of herself the day she started, and she took another picture of herself 3 weeks later, and she sent it to me in her text message, and it said, Michele, what do you think? 3 weeks, I've been very diligent morning and night and doing my peel twice a week. Look at my skin. Do you see the difference? And I was like, yeah. In fact, I think I'm going to have to step it up myself on the peel. But there was such a profound difference in her skin, and it was so visible. And so I said to her, I said, Lori, can I share your picture? Would you mind if I share your picture? She goes, oh yeah, go ahead. You can share the picture. So I share it when I'm in an appointment and I'm talking about repair, all I have to do is show her picture. They'll buy repair because it's so visible, the difference in her skin. And it resold me on how great that product was. And it'll resell you every time you do a facial on yourself and use your product. And, right now I'm using a lot of my product because we're home a lot. So it gives me a good reason to pamper myself and just take better care of my skin. But creating that high level of trust, when you create that, you get less objections and you hear yes a lot more when you create that level of high trust with your customer. And so, and I really believe that comes with really getting to know them and asking the right questions. And then, taking that general interest, in, that interest in that customer, and, really acting like a professional consultant instead of a salesperson. Closing the sale, going back to your closing sheet. I always use a closing sheet. I never wing it. And that's part of the procedure that, I always say procedurally, when I have a consultant that says to me, I held a party, but I didn't sell a lot, the first question I ask her is, did you use the closing sheet? And 9 times out of 10, she'll say no. And then I know that that's why she didn't sell a lot, because she didn't use, the closing sheet, because that really does the work for you. And, plus it's a visual for somebody. And of course, women love a deal. And so if you're offering some type of promo, it helps women, makes the shopping more fun. Women always want to shop for a little bit less. So, so just becoming a master at closing so that you're never awkward. And the only way that I can describe that, how does that happen, is by doing it over and over and over and over again. The more you do it, the easier it is. The more you do it, it becomes like second nature. And and that just comes with working consistently, which is why I've always been a firm believer. And, if you want to hold one party a week, hold one party a week, but hold it every week. And, just doing things consistently, because I find myself that when I haven't had a party in a while, I get rusty. And then I start to kind of trip over my words and not feel like I'm really, really smooth in my presentation. So that's why I love to just be, be very, very consistent about how many appointments I hold a week. The last thing I will tell you that has worked for me in selling and upping my selling game is when I have a reorder, the last question I say to somebody is, hey, Cleta, you qualify for one half price item. Is there one item that you have not tried that you would love, that you'd like to get at half price? So if they spend, instead of giving them a gift with purchase, I give them one product. If they have spent, I do it at 50. If they have spent $50 with me, I say, you know what, Cleta, you qualify for one product at half price that you've never ordered before. Is there something new you've been wanting to try? Today, you're going to get it for half the price. And I give her one product at half price. And I don't care which product it is. I want to get her on another product. And that prevents me from having to spend $2 on some gift that I'm giving her, or, another. I mean, how many eye makeup removers can you give somebody, right? And so, we only have so many samples, especially right now. And so giving her one product at half price makes her feel like, and plus it ups my wholesale, again, it brings, it's moving your product off your shelf. And that's what I find really works well for me. And the last and final thing is make everything look pretty. My daughter says, Mom, that's one of your gifts. You make everything look pretty. And I'm just a firm believer in making everything look gorgeous. So, I wrap it in beautiful tissue. I have cute little stickers that I put on it. Whether it be thanks for shopping with my local business. And I always put in a card that says thank you. And my card says thank you. And it's got pictures of my family on here. And then on the back, it talks, it says, thanks for supporting my small business and my family. And then it's just a little note on the back, and it says, you mean so much to me from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Your support has kept my business growing each year and given me the opportunity to impact more women's lives. Choosing to wash your face or glam your face with Mary Kay makes a local and global impact for not only my family, but assist in blessing others through the Mary Kay Foundation, which provides domestic violence shelters grants and cancer research grants focused on curing cancers that affect women. Thank you for loving your Mary Kay, your skincare and makeup guru, Michele. And that goes in every single bag, and I sign it. So just those little touches. And then the last and final thing is if I do put a sample in, and I don't know if you can see that, but it just says, for you. And it is if I put a sample in there, it says, purchase any of these products in the next 15 days and, full size product and get a 15% discount. And I track it. So, you know, these come back to when I know when this comes back to me on a product, I know this works. So I just offer them, you know, on if I do put a sample in there, a way for them to buy it the first time for 15% off. And that's it, my friends. I hope that was helpful.
So good. So, and I'm just sitting here thinking of all the customer service things that I have learned in 30